My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. Chat, let me tell you, the name of this anime, I feel like could slightly hold back the actual anime, if I'm being honest, chat, because I watched the first episode, and you know how I will watch a bunch of anime, first episode, and then, you know, post it and probably say I probably won't be following up with it. Well, for this one, most likely I will, because I feel like not only am I watching an interesting anime, but it looks like I'm watching art. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about in a minute. This is an isekai though, but they do it in a way where I'm like, okay, it's a little bit of breath of fresh air. And they even acknowledge where the main characters, specifically this one and that one, really, but mostly this one, are like, oh, okay, they know what isekai is, and they acknowledge that it exists. And I think that is it's a plus, because you don't really see too many anime. There's a few of them, but you don't really see too many anime where they will like, oh my goodness, I'm in just like in the manga, I'm in an isekai, like my favorite anime. Yeah, you don't really see that too much. They just kind of sugarcoat that. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, let's get into this, chat. Let's get into it. So I right off the bat, I have to say the main character for me has to be a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10. People like hearing 10s, right? Yeah, people like hearing that number. 10s, not 5s. Ugh, what is even that? But I also like some of the characters we really haven't. You know what? I will say I'm interested in this character, this samurai jack looking guy. Yeah. I really want to see what he ends up doing, because I don't really see too much of him. All I know is that he's mysterious. I think everybody likes the mysterious kind of characters, right? I think so. I don't know. It's just this one. Aside from the main character, this one right here is like, okay, I need to know more about what you got going on. Yeah, he's probably going to do something with the katana or something like that. I forgot what they called it. I think he called it katana, but he has like in school he has like judo practice or whatever you want to call it. Chat, I'm not Japanese. I don't know the term that they use in this. All right, but you know what I mean. So what ends up happening, and I might have seen this once in another anime, a huge portal opens up and sucks everybody through through a wormhole to the other world. And not the Diddy kind of suck. I'm talking about the actual suck. You know what? How about I use a different word? Flow through. Yeah, flow through. Yeah, that sounds not so sus. Anyway, I literally tried to think of a worse word than suck, but I just couldn't think of it. Anyway, moving on. So they end up in the other world, as you already know that was going to happen. And you have old man say, hey, you guys are in another world, and you guys are going to be heroes, or at least one of you are going to be a hero. Everyone else is going to be the hero's lackey for the most part. And there's the king, and there's something off about the queen. There's her eyes are all dead. It's like, hey, I really wanted to go to France when I got married. That never happened. Now I'm in a loveless relationship kind of look. That's the kind of look you see. And if you're like, Candy, I have that kind of look, I'm sorry. I hope you work something out with the love of your life, or used to be the love of your life. Anyway, can you have the hate of your life? Is that a thing? Yeah, that's a thing. I'm sure that's a thing. Don't hate nobody. It's better just not. Anyway, so you have the main characters who are like, oh, this is awesome, yeah, fantasy, isekai, all that stuff. And if I'm being honest, if I got sucked up into an isekai, I gotta stop saying suck. If I got flowed up, yeah, that sounds stupid, I go with that. If I got flowed up to a different reality where I have to, fight the Demon King, you think I'm gonna be like, oh, this is so cool? No, I'm like, hey, I have a YouTube thing I have to do. Can I take the bus back, the flow bus back? Because all this Demon King stuff, I don't even know the guy. He could be a cool guy, but you just guys are like embezzling money, and he's trying to stop that. Hey, look, I just don't want to get involved. I really want to get. We got our own thing because I'm American. Yeah. Now if they flowed up some American students, they could be great heroes, if you know what I mean, or great villains. I don't know, chat. We rambunctious over here. Don't mess around. Yeah. So stupid, man. So they're testing out the whole put your hand there and we'll see your stats and all that stuff. Now, one thing that I found very interesting about how they check stats is that he says all you have to do is say status and then you can pull up your stuff. This gives off digital world vibes, if I'm being honest. Like, are we mixing digital, like a sci-fi stuff with fantasy stuff? Because I feel like that's the case, chat. I really feel like that might be the case, because I recall seeing some anime that are like that. I hope that in the background there's actually some digital stuff going on, because I think that's a lot more fun, if I'm being honest. Especially if you're going to use numbers and all this other stuff where you're like your skills are tracked. That's a computer type of environment. They're in a computer world, or unless they were in a computer world. Now they're outside of the Matrix. Oh my gosh. Moving on. Main character's like, this sounds very funky. And like I said before, not the good kind of funky, not the, hey, let's dance the night away. No, the kind of funky where you like take someone out on a date and you're like, oh, when's the last time you bathed? Since 1987. Ah, got it. Get out of my house. 1987. Did anything bad happen in 1987? Let me know in the comments. So, and then you have the second character that I'm really interested in, seeing what he's got going on. He finally opens his eyes because he's got something going on. Something intrigued him. They said, oh, you're going to be the master of watching live action Dragon Ball. And he's going to be like, say what? If that's a thing, that would be stupid. That'd be so stupid. So he turns invisible. The main character, you're like, you know what? Let me fly under the radar. Fly under the radar, be invisible, and I'm gonna check this stuff out. Then you got this guy right here, like, you know, watching the class. Apparently, the dude has like really good eyes, so he can see even though he's invisible. Also, our main character is an assassin. He got the assassin class. Yeah, not the butt assassin, not the I'm talking about the actual assassin. You know, like when you take somebody out, that kind of thing. All right, I just sometimes you gotta explain it to people. Some people just don't get. They hear butt and they're like, oh, that's all I hear now. Anyway, Merry Christmas, chat. So you have the main character. He sneaks into the king's room, and he realizes that there's something funky going on, like I said before. And he was going to take him out, but he was like, I can't do it. He can't do it. He couldn't pull the trigger. I think we have an assassin who has a conscience. He's like, that's what I do, but I just can't kill. I think we have an assassin that doesn't kill. Is that possible? That would be an interesting twist. One that I would really want to, like, you know, watch more about and see what's going on. I think what also holds me on this anime is that the art style. It gives me we will see in a little bit, but it gives me like a classical look. The artist clearly did something in the past. I just don't remember. What's that one anime where it had the opening song like, and I ran all night and day, couldn't get away. You know what I'm talking about. Someone in the comments tell me. Let's see. So we have not the main character, but we got the students who are not freaking out, by the way. They're just are all right with being transported into a whole different dimension. You know, they got their new gear and they're being trained, right? Because eventually they have to go to a dungeon in about a month. I don't think you can train in under a month. Is that a thing? How long does it take for Marines to become Marines? Like multiple months, right? You don't just get a Marine in like 1 month. Whatever. That's just how anime logic. Time moves differently, apparently. Then you got Pretty Guy over here, which just seeing him made me think of like the color and the lines that the artist and the team that are working on this, it is so classic kind of feel. It's got a classic feel and it's very beautiful. Oh wow, Candy, you calling this man beautiful? I am not. However, he's got something going on with how they designed him. It's really great. I think I might have to finish this, because right now there's 7 episodes of this. 7 in dub and 7 in sub and everything. 24 minutes long and everything. PG-13, by the way. So you have the main character like, I'm too good for school. I'm gonna bounce. So he's out. And then this is where you realize, like, oh, you can see me. Like, yeah, we can see you. We can see you. Oh, that glowing stuff. Well, he can see him. No one else can, which is I find very interesting. Look at that art style. Look at that. So majestic. Majestic. That's a word. Majestic art style, chat. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. If you want to, like, if anything, watch it for it's like watching a motion picture. It's like watching a picture in motion. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Like, it's all a motion picture. If you ever hear anybody say cartoon and anime are the same, tell them, like, because you know how that whole argument says, well, the Japanese term is technically just cartoon. I'm like, first off, SpongeBob and Dragon Ball are not on the same level. They're not in the same category. We have categories for a reason. Secondly, you can even double down if you just want to prove a point to them. I'm like, okay, you want to call anime cartoons? Well, I could also just call it a motion picture, right? Or if you want to even go even a step further, go above and beyond, like Goku when he powers up. I made that joke somewhere along the way, probably when I was playing Baldur's Gate. If you want to like go above and beyond and push it even further, you can say, oh, you could just call it reality or fiction, or you can just call it light particles. You can be very like, it's just so annoying, chat. I feel like there are people who are going out their way. This is why I say that there are rats in the anime community. They are. You gotta point them out. And people who call anime cartoons and they're in the anime community, those are rats. Straight up, no joke. Like they're not as bad as the ones who are like, you know, trying to censor anime. Those are the worst rats. The rats that call animes cartoons, those are like, whatever. You're still family. Yeah, you're kind of weird, but you're still family. You're that weird uncle off to the side. Yeah, we don't talk about weird Uncle Joe. Anyway, so we have the main character just talking it out with he's not the main character, but this interesting guy who wants to help out the main character. Here's the problem with this guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy or a good guy. And I love that. Not knowing whose side you're on, someone's on, makes it a great character. Like, I hope he's good, but he's got the qualities of being bad, or not even bad or good. He's like, I feel like he's more in the middle. He's like, hey, I'm not doing this for the love of the game, you know? I'm not like Kid Buu or Majin Buu. Yeah, I'm not like Kid Buu. He's doing it for the love of the game. Like, I love the fight for the sake of fighting. This guy, he's more of he's got a political narrative for whatever reason that he's keeping under wraps. Not intentionally keeping under wraps, but, you know, he clearly knows things that we'll find out later for the sake of telling, like, dragging out the story. And I feel like when you write a character like that, who is, you don't know if he's good or bad, it's great. And even though he's going to be teaching the main character how to fight and train, like giving him personal guidance on all that, I think it's going to make the character very important. I just hope they're not setting him up to be killed off, man. That's gonna be so stupid. They say, "Oh, you killed my teacher. Now it's personal." Like, that's lame. Don't make it lame. Don't make it lame, chat. That lip smile. Look, chat. I told you I like a good smile. This, I don't know what this is. I have no freaking idea what this is. Like, give this guy's lips some, like, I don't know, some, like, makeup or something. Give him something, because that mouth is way too small. It's way too small. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, I think it's very weird. I think it's very weird. If someone ever smiles at me like that, I'm like, you get away from me. If someone ever smiles at you like that, tell them, like, you're gonna need to back up before I ought to. Anyway, so he hands out his hand like, hey, you help me, I help you. All right. And then they start touching fingers, whatever the heck that is. Someone blur that out. Yeah, that's obscene. We don't do that here. We're a Christian. We're a Christian channel. Oh gosh, isn't that a meme where you're like holding hands is like gotta be blurred out? Oh gosh. Oh man. Anyway, so you see our main character who noticed someone giving like everybody the stink eye. Like this one, she's hiding in the shadows. And now here I'm thinking she might be the good guy. She could also be the bad guy, because she was like, hey, it took a lot to get you guys to be summoned here. It took a lot. And he's like, well, what was that a lot? And as any anime goes, it says, I'll tell you later. I'm like, I swear. I'm like, tell me now. I'm a donkey punch you in the back of the head if you walk away. I'm just saying. I will Yoshi punch you so hard. So, man, why you got freaking rocks on your tongue? Freaking someone Yoshi punched me. Oh, gosh. It's so stupid. It makes me sick to my stomach. And, like, tell me now what the issue is, man. Like, I'm assuming it's like a philosopher's stone or something like that, where it's a lot of people have to die just to create the summoning circle. I'm assuming it's just all this secretive stuff, like, for no reason. I would understand if she was holding on to that information because she wanted something in return. That makes sense. If you could implement that into any anime where someone holds on to specific information for the sake of bargaining, that would be great. But there's no bargaining here. There's none whatsoever. Like, there has to be a good reason, either bargaining or even, look, you're just not ready to know that information, because if you knew that information, you might do something stupid. Now that would make sense. You might do something stupid like skydiving. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah. Anyway, there's nothing to this. Oh yeah, I wanted to. Reason why I have this picture is because the action in this anime is really nice. I like the animation on it. It's great. I haven't seen any bloodshed though. That's the crazy part. That's what concerns me a little bit. However, at the same time, there is a way to make something so terrible without bloodshed. You see what I'm saying? Also, I think I've actually seen, because there's a scene right at the beginning where he's like, you know, all those animes where they show you like days in advance, like a little clip of days in advance kind of thing. Yeah, this is easily one of those things. So I did see a lot of action, but I didn't recall seeing any blood. I just saw stabbing and some brutal bone and arm crunching. Ugh. This guy right here, he stuck a blade into the guy's elbow and twisted it until it broke his arm. Ugh. Give me a break. Give me a break of that Kit Kat femur or whatever's on the arm. Anyway, I'm done. I'll see you next time.